So I have to ask, are people sleeping on these? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It is your boy Danny back with another video, and in today's video I am going to be reviewing the Air Jordan 3 Seoul 2.0. Now I can't lie to you guys, I wasn't expecting to get these. I thought it was going to be like the 1.0 where it was going to be a really limited release. Almost nobody would have been able to touch it unless you were in Korea. But that's not the case. If you don't know, the first pair was exclusive to Korea in 2018 through Nike Korea. Rumor has it there's only like 700 to 900 pairs that released, which seems like a lot, but in the context of things, it's not a lot. So let's talk a little bit about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get these out the box. And instead of doing the traditional cutaway that I do, I kind of want you guys to experience this like unboxing with me. So we have like a cloud box top right here that's actually, don't know the relevance, but it's pretty fire. And then you have this textured elephant print on the box itself. It feels the way Nigel 4s did and the Nina Chanel 3s. If you want like a point of reference and you have either of those sneakers, and it's kind of like that gritty feel to it. So looking at the packaging, it's kind of gift wrapped. So here we have them, little gift wrap. There are several layers of paper in this, so bear with me. Gotta take that ribbon off first. First layer. First shoe. It's like a little present. Here we go. These are the Seoul 2.0s. They are incredibly nice in person. All right, so let me go ahead, get this all unpackaged and cleaned up, and we'll be right back. So like I mentioned, these are the second part of that Korea Air Jordan 3 release. The first pair being in 2018. I think it was celebrating 30 years from the 1988 Korean Olympics. Why they decided to follow up with a 2.0, I'm actually not too sure. Now, with as limited as the first pair was, I was expecting these to be just as limited, but we did see a wider release with these. So they did release early in Korea, and I think one shop here in the US around May 10th or 11th, I think it was. And then the full release was May 17th at boutiques and on sneakers. This pair specifically was from sneakers. I was lucky enough to get my hands on a pair from that first come first serve draw. But it was a little crazy because a lot of the boutiques that normally have a lot of stock, like Kith, didn't have that much. For reference, Kith does a lot of in-store and online releases. For this one specifically, it was only one store in New York that actually had enough to release to the public. But I guess for those boutiques that only have like 1 or 2 locations, it's not as noticeable. But when you see those boutiques with like a lot, like Kith, Bait, you'll notice that their stock wasn't crazy. So retail was $200. It's not bad considering a lot of other releases would have been $220, $230, $240. We've seen that when it comes to Air Jordan 3 sometimes, and 4s. So for that price, I actually don't mind how these turned out. Taking a look at the shoe itself, on the top, we do have that all tumbled leather upper. There we go, right there. It's traditional. It's just like any other Air Jordan 3. So if you're used to the way like white cements feel, or like the last black cements that came out, it's pretty much the same. So one difference here is that on the elephant print, you do have an aged look to it. You almost have like hints of olive or like tan. It goes with the theme, in my opinion. Now there are a lot of other sneakers, specifically Air Jordan 3s that exist that are already aged to that extent that these remind me of, you know? Taking a look at the inside right here, all this is like a velvet. Since I'm down here in Florida, that's not gonna be the funnest experience, I'm not gonna lie. And then right here, you do have that almost like a polyester. Yeah, it feels very synthetic, but it's a little bit easier on the heel from the initial wear test. Here we have the back as well. And if you haven't clocked it yet, this is exactly like the first pair, just aged. So the first pair had an all white sole. This one has like this age to it, but it's not too warm. It's a different type of age, I guess you could say. Bottom shows that age detail as well as red and blue. On the left shoe, you do have the flag of Korea, which explains the red and blue. And then you do have a Jumpman on the other one. Not gonna lie, this tongue feels a little bit softer than other Jordans I've owned, so it's like nice on the foot, but you are gonna get that issue where it kind of like angles on you while you wear them. I do feel like these a couple years ago would have been killer, easily a $300, $400, $500 pair of shoes. But nowadays, I do feel like a lot of people are tired of that aged look, and I still don't get the significance of an aged version of the 1.0s, but I am glad to be able to own these. So if you're a psycho like me, then you own a lot of shoes, and these really remind me of these in a way. So looking at them subjectively, I'm not gonna lie, you can make a case saying like you can own all of them and they're all different. Yes, but I can also make the case that if you own one of these, you're good. You don't really need any of the other ones. So when compared to the A Ma Manières, I guess the only real age detail is this one right here. I do feel like A Ma Manière helped make that a little more common practice on a lot of releases. And if you can tell by just how different that age detail is here, how much darker, it's almost like a tan even. Then the second pair I own are these J Balvins. Initially when I saw photos of these and I saw that age looked, I thought they were gonna be exactly like these. But seeing them side by side, there's definitely a difference. If anything, I think these are a little bit more wearable than Balvin's. Leather feels almost the same, so this level of creasing is what you're gonna expect when wearing these. Same thing for A Ma Manières. I'll crease them when they're on feet just to show you exactly what that's gonna look like. These are solid sneakers. I do feel like this is a good contender. If you don't own any of these, it's kind of worth grabbing these. All right, so final thoughts on these. I do think they are a sleeper. They did sell out, so it's kind of hard to say that. The only reason they've sold out is because people thought they're gonna be as big as the first, so they were thinking this potentially was gonna be a friends and family level release, but it is not. There's a wider release for a lot more people, still more limited than traditional GRs. And it's kind of weird because this isn't a collaboration with anybody. It feels like one of those side projects that Air Jordan does, like those lifestyle projects that they used to do. I'm always a big fan of those. I think they're cool. They aren't safe to retroing though, so keep that in mind. If you don't have the funds to grab a pair now, just wait. Who's to say in 7 more years we don't see a 3.0? And then maybe those look a little bit better and they tickle your fancy. Or maybe in 2 to 3 years we see a restock of the first pair, because with Jordan Brand and Nike, nothing's safe. So I think with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and throw these on feet. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking out the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's gonna be pretty soon. I'm not gonna lie, releases have been really slow for me. I haven't been able to pick up a lot, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.